Recently, SERAP, the organization who is saddled with the responsibility of holding government accountable for their actions, asked Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give account of how he has spent the money saved from subsidy. Likewise, now we are getting to find out that UK government are saying to Tinubu, use money saved from subsidy removal to fund education. At least let people see what the suffering is about. Let people know, see why they are buying fuel for 750 naira and more. At least if we are unable to benefit from subsidy because you say that a lot of people are using this subsidy as a scheme to enrich their own pockets, at least let's also benefit from from this subsidy in other ways. If not through petrol subsidizing, let's also benefit from it in other ways, through education or whichever way that the government chooses. But at least let us know that the subsidy money is going into something tangible and useful for the Nigerian citizens and not just into one man's pocket. Before we go into the details of today's news, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell so that you can be the first person to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Help us grow this channel by giving this video a massive thumbs up so that it gets recommended to other YouTube viewers all around the world as well. Lastly, leave your opinions in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. The UK government's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office (FCDO) has asked President Bola Tinubu to use the money saved from removing fuel subsidy to fund education in the country. According to NEWSROOM Nigeria, FCDO representative Lan Atfield, who made the call at the end of the Inclusive Education Project in Nigeria, supporting mainstream inclusion for equality learning in Abuja on Wednesday. For the next 5 years or so, I'm sure we won't be discussing how we can mainstream some elements of inclusive education. Major economic changes are taking place, such as changes in fuel subsidy. It should begin to be rolled out to support Nigerians' human development, to build, among other things, the education and the services that young people need. Also speaking at the event, country director of Sight Savers Nigeria, a non-profit organization, Dr. Sunday Iyako, argues that inclusivity in education remains the foundation of national development. According to him, governments at all levels and communities must ensure that children with disabilities are integrated into the mainstream when it comes to their education and future. What is your opinion on this? What is your reaction on this topic? I would love to get feedback from you. Subscribe, guys, if you haven't. Like this video, share with your friends and family. Before we go, let's take a look at one or two reactions from people. SCN is saying, no repair refineries, please. I feel that, this repairing of, like I said in one of my videos, I think that it's high time that African countries, we need to come together to decide how, we are going to grow economically. Because I've noticed not just in Nigeria, most African countries, we always focus on exporting our raw materials. We export these raw materials, but what we do not understand is that, these white countries, these white men, They come to Africa, they buy these resources that we think we have in abundance, that we just keep selling. They buy these raw materials in cheaper price, I would call it. And then by the time they turn these raw materials into end products, for example, cocoa, when it's turned into coffee, it gets more value and they get more money for that. It's high time that African countries need to come together and decide that they should no longer export their raw materials but end products outside the country. Take, for example, a country like Nigeria that has crude oil. With crude oil, you can get petrol, you can get gas, you even get some other, petroleum products. But we concentrate so much on just exporting the raw materials solely, which is crude oil. You know, we do not necessarily get as much profit. If we were to be exporting gas, exporting petroleum instead of crude oil, we would be getting more money. Our economy will be better for it. But most African countries, like the president of Ethiopia said at the Russia-African summit, he said, for example, a white country who do not even have cocoa as a as a natural resources are the highest exporter of coffee in the world. They do not have the raw material, mind you, but they buy these raw materials from African countries that have it. They turn it into coffee, they turn it into some of its end products, and they end up exporting this product to other countries in high quantity, and they get more money for it. You cannot compare how much coffee is being sold at the international market to how much cocoa is being sold at the international market. There is a wide margin, you know. So I feel that, we have crude oil. We should focus on building our refineries. We should focus on repairing our refineries. Now that, I think when Tinubu became the president, he said that he wanted to build a gas pipeline that will be stretching like kilometers, that he wants Nigeria to start exporting gas. We are capable, we have the resources, but we just concentrate more on exporting crude oil because we feel that that's way, it's cheaper. That way we don't have to do the work. So we leave the work to these other countries and they get the money for it, they get the benefit for it. We have gold saved, but we do not we do not it's so funny. This is our mentality in Africa. Oh, may God help us. May God help us. I could go on and on. But you guys, let me have your thoughts in the comment section. I don't even know what to say anymore. Yeah, you have it. You guys know I don't know much. I'm just keeping it real. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like this video. Share with your friends and family as well. Thank you all for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video.